I'm very glad that you are all here. I hope you enjoyed these few days in Pula. Yesterday was excellent weather, today not so much, but that helps us, so you are all here. Most of you, I believe, know who our guest is at the end of this conference. Well-known athlete, basketball player, who is recognized now in whole Europe, in Croatia especially, and in the NBA, Dino Rađa. Thank you for coming.
Welcome.
We heard few sentences in this conference. We spoke about it. How much do you understand?
I understand. I'm a technology freak, a little bit myself, so I love new stuff always. You know, even that sometimes it make your life more difficult because you have to learn all these menus and stuff. So, for example, I learned how to fold the mirrors of my car after 3 years. So.
Yeah. In last few hours, you had like 40 photo sessions. It's still going.
I'm used to that. That's the problem.
Yeah. Okay. We will start with your legacy. Let's say from era in the NBA. That's something that was probably sure it's a big part of your life. Do you remember the beginnings? It was in the beginning of the 90s, 1993, I believe, when you came to Boston.
It was different times back then. You know, European players had no any value, and you had coaches and the general managers of the NBA teams that didn't believe we can do much. And then when we start coming, you know, first we had like some guys like Gluchkov who went there and didn't succeed, and then you have this generation that I'm really proud to be part of, with the Dražen, Toni, Divac, Sabonis, Marčelonis, who went to NBA and proved that we can be successful, we can play. But you know, in the beginning, you get the bag with the dirty jerseys to carry, and you have to play 2 minutes and 3 minutes and 4 minutes. But very soon, I mean, we all prove them, you know, that we can be successful. And
but in the first game, you had 15 points.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. You know, my first game in Boston Garden. Boston Garden is the most famous arena in the world. Maybe Madison Square Garden is also something like that. And my first game, I will never forget what happened, because it was Friday, first game, and a huge rain in the city, and the traffic was, everything was blocked. And I live near the arena, and I went with my car to the game, and everything was blocked. I couldn't drive. So I stood there, and after some time I realized I'm going to be late. I called my wife and I said, listen, I leave the car in the middle of the intersection with the key in, running, and I run because I didn't want to be late. And so she came down, I don't know how much later. She picked up the car, and I went running, you know, in the suit. Now you can dress how you like. Back then you had to have the suit and the tie and everything. So I ran to the arena, raining, wet, but I couldn't be late. It was my first game, I couldn't be late. And I come to the game, you know, you do the warm-up, you do the stuff, and then at one point at the first quarter, coach say, okay, you get into the game. And you wait for the game to stop so you can sub. And you look up in the air and you see all these banners, all these numbers retired and everything, and you are a kid from Split, from little city, that is like a little neighborhood of Boston. And you know, everything went through your head, and it was unbelievable feeling that I will never forget.
And it was the game against the Knicks, I think.
Yeah.
15 points. Coach Ford was on the bench, if I remember. Once a Celtic, always a Celtic. There's a saying. Is that still in your heart? Are you connected with the city, with other sports societies in the Boston?
It is really. Is the way they treat you, the way that you have a feeling. It's something that is uncanny, really, because, like, you know, I haven't been playing for many years now, and sometimes you dream that you are playing again. I always dream to play in Boston. I never dreamed to play in Split or in Panathinaikos or in Italy. I always dream of playing in Boston. I don't know why. There's some kind of subconscious, I guess.
Yeah. It was time of transition of Celtics when you arrived, but there were some big players there. Who would you say was, oh, I played with this guy at the beginning?
You know, I played with the Chief. He's a legend, not only as a player, but he's a legend as a person.
Parrish.
Yes, Robert Parrish. Yeah, he's somebody that, you know, when you see him on the game, you think he has a stone face and he's, you know, professional. But outside of that box, he was a completely different person, laughing, joking, and all the stuff that goes with it. But you know, I had some bad luck because you know, the two weeks before I came to Boston, Reggie Lewis died. So from team that was, you know, ready to fight for something more,
contender.
And now you with the rules, with the salary cap, with the draft, takes time to rebuild. But you know, I was on a mission there. I wanted, you know, the NBA is the best league in the world, and you want to see how high you can climb on the ladder of success. So people ask me when they go to Boston, okay, what should I see? Where should I go out? I said, you should see the city because it's beautiful. But if you give me $1 million to tell you the name of the one nightclub or a disco or something, I have no idea, because for 4 years I was like a robot, like practice, eat, sleep, game, practice, eat, sleep, game.
Focused.
I never went out.
Yeah, in these days, I was a kid. A lot of us watched NBA then, and we remember those days. For me, it was the best days of the basketball, and we remember excellent players. It was different basketball than today. But who was your best opponent, toughest opponent? Was it Hakeem or?
You know, it was so many of them that you really can't choose, because all of these guys that I really was lucky to play against. You know, I play against Michael Jordan, I play against Shaquille O'Neal, Olajuwon, Ewing, Barkley, Carmelo, Stockton, all of these guys, and I forgot definitely many of them. It was every night you play against an all-star, against a huge player, against, you know, the legend. So it was really, you know, like a dream. We are dreaming I was dreaming for 4 years.
Yeah, it was a dream. Okay, last night Boston won against Golden State.
Yeah,
Big final.
Don't jinx them.
Don't jinx them. Okay, but we hope for 18th. Or you're not
hoping,
allowed to talk about it.
I'm hoping, but you know, I learned many times in my life until the fat lady sings.
We can talk about Golden State. Did they change basketball?
They did.
They did?
They did, definitely. Steph Curry, definitely. Klay Thompson, definitely. If they are not playing the Celtics, I would be for them, definitely, because those guys are playing basketball with so much fun. And I love watching them. You know, I hate when they get hurt and they didn't do what they're supposed to do in some years, but not this year.
Okay, we hope so. 4 years ago, special moment, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Hall of Fame, special night, emotional night.
Unexplainable, unexplainable, really. When I got information, I spoke to Mirko Novosel because he was over there before me, and I asked him, okay, what's happening? How is it going on? What I have to do? What I have? Should I prepare for something? So he explained me the procedure, how this, how that, and then at the end he told me one sentence that was very true. He said, "Whatever I tell you, I cannot prepare you for what you're gonna experience." And you don't get it.
Yeah.
Like what? I play in front of 10,000 people, 20, 30, 3,000 people. I play the important games, tough games, finals, win, lose, everything. What can surprise me? I was so wrong. You know, at the moment that they say your name and you have to go out and you have to talk to these people, and you are, you are losing the ground. You know, you are like.
Heart is pumping.
You're not that. You are like under like a slight anesthesia. You are fighting to be awake. You don't know where you are. You know, you see all these guys that are legends. You know, Hall of Famers, and now you have to tell them something. What are you going to tell them?
They know everything.
And also there was one thing that that was very important to me. Like they told me like 6 months ahead to make my speech and give them my speech in writing. And I asked them, I don't want to do that. I feel that reading from the paper is not nice. No, we have to have it because of we have a TV, you have 5 minutes, you have a slot, you have to be, we have to be, Americans, how Americans are.
Yeah.
So, okay, I get something from my head, I wrote it, and I sent it to them, and I didn't see it for like 4.5 months. So, day before, we came to the stage, and you have this huge TV that we call Blesimetar.
Yeah.
And
to read from it.
Yeah, most of the people here understand. So they make you read it. So I read it once. Are you okay? You want more? I said, I don't, because I have my ideas in my head. And then when the ceremony started, I was like number 8. So you are watching from the stands, and you see 7 people before me. And I see them like robots. You see them, and you see 2 TVs on the side. And I look at the TV, and he looks like a robot on TV. And that's not who I am. So I said to myself, okay, you are not going to read it. You are going to talk from your head. And but this feeling when you come out, and then you have so many other things coming through your mind, and you are really fighting to focus on
there
what,
it is.
on what you have, on what you have
that
to say.
moment.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable moment, really. Especially, my family was there, my best friends was there, and it was very, very, very emotional.
Yeah, creme de la creme of Croatia. Dražan, Krešo Ćosić, Tony later, right? And Mirko Novosel and you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We mentioned Toni Kukoc few times already. We waited too long for him to come to that companion.
Yeah, I think that's all you guys, all media, yapping unnecessary, because we all know his place is there. And is it going to be this year or that year? Or we can always talk like, is Galis there before us? Is he worth it or not? Probably not if you see the CVs. But he was there, and nobody was writing, oh, come on, Galis was there before Tony, Dino, Divac and stuff. But, you know, media got hot on this. But we all know that...
Tony was not nervous about it. He was cool.
No.
Okay, today in the NBA there are a lot of European players that are making big mark. Let's start with maybe Luka Doncic. I mean, he's really a big star, but how do you see his play and how is he playing that good?
I will tell you about two guys, you know, Doncic and Jokic, because these two guys are unbelievably talented. I mean, that's something that you are born with. You cannot teach that. I mean, basketball is the game that you are learning stuff, but you know, there are guys who are born with a sense of the game that look 5 steps ahead of everybody else. And that's why they are who they are, because they are so talented. I really haven't seen for a long time like guys who are talented. And I think that they can be better, even better, which is scary. But they have to, you know, work on some other stuff, you know, the eating habits, the practicing. I think they can be even better. I think these two guys can be, you know, MVPs for next 10 years easily.
You mean that maybe Luka can be better in which way? Physicality or something?
He should work on his physicality. There is a room of improvement over there. Basketball-wise, I don't think so. But
both of them, the main asset is their basketball IQ, I believe.
Definitely.
And Jokic, he's
like
also
a point guard. He's a big man. Like his mind is like a point guard.
Yeah. You spoke about how tough was it at the beginnings in the NBA. Was Dražan the guy who paved the way for all of you?
He was. He was like a mentor to us in many ways. Not only NBA, but working, how you work, how you be professional, how you act, how you know, you have to sleep, you have to rest, you have to. He never go out. He never go out. And when I know we go to play somewhere in a little city in Poland, and there is no weight room, and you know, he's used to do some weights. And then we go from practice in hotel, and then 20 minutes later he calls you. I found a weight room. Let's go. So
yeah, he was special.
It was really, he was example on everything. Even in the personal life, he was example. Like we go out. I always tell this story to people. We go out, he signed for Real Madrid, and in the middle of the season we play some qualification in Sweden, and we were roommates, and before the game we went out for a coffee. And I want to pay for the coffee, and he said, no, when you make the money I'm making, then you will pay. Now yeah. I'm paying everything.
Yeah, the question that you heard a lot of probably times, but I will ask it again. The best European player, is it Dirk Nowitzki, is it Tony, is Doncic going to be, or what do you think in the NBA?
I think if you look at the complexity of the game and both ways and the talent and defense and offense and stuff that somebody does, I think that Tony was the most complete player. Because he was a genius offensively. He could score 30 if he needs. He could score 2 and give 15 assists if he needs. He could rebound. He could steal the ball. He could guard the best player. Like so many times we put him on Galis, who was back then the biggest scorer in Europe. We put him on Galis because he was tall with a long reach. So he was I think most all-around guy that I play with.
let's go a little bit further in history. You started in Split. Those years was also very emotional, very good. You and Tony again. We saw new shoes a few weeks ago, also from that era. How do you see those yellow days?
That was, sometimes you have to get lucky in your life, and I think I was lucky to be born at the same age with Tony, with Draža, with Perasovic, with Sobin, with all these guys that I play with. And sometimes you miss the support. Basketball is not tennis when you play one-on-one. It's 10, 12 guys you need to do something important. And I was really lucky to be born in the same area with all these people. And we were like a Beatles. Wherever we came, we never got booze. Even in the hardest opponent arenas, and it was really a pleasure and honor playing for that team.
A national team? Let's start with 1992. I think
was the most probably. I always like to emphasize two most important wins in my life. One is Munich with Jugoplastic '89, and the second one is Barcelona. At that moment with the war and everything going on, being able to step on the highest stage against the dream team that we provoke, being built, and to share the stage with Michael Jordan and all these guys. I mean, that I said before, look at them. I mean, it was something really special.
Yeah, and we remember Spusti se Franjo. That was a part of it.
Yeah, look at these names. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, was the true story that they wanted on this game to welcome Tony to the NBA? Was that all? Was it really?
We knew that. We played them twice.
Yeah,
we
at
played
the
them
beginning
twice. And we knew that they want to show Tony that he doesn't belong there. And in the first game, we didn't know what to expect, and Tony was a little shy in that game. But then on the second game, in the finals, he showed them how his worth, and he had a great game.
What about you? Did you have problems on the court? No, I don't mean anything.
All of us, I think, all of us who succeed later in NBA show that we belong there.
Yeah. One more thing I forgot about Split to ask you. Were you on the concert of Misha Kovac a few days ago? How was it?
Very emotional, very emotional. He's a natural phenomenon. I don't know why, but somehow he's a history, and a lot of emotions, a lot of 25,000 people. He's 81 years old. Come on, who can bring 25,000 people in Split, a little city? And there were people from Slavonia, Slovenia, Montenegro, Belgrade, Novi Sad, from all over the ex-country.
There was flares, a lot of flares, and
unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah. He and Oliver, some kind of legends. Can you compare them?
Yes, but
maybe some sports way.
Different. Oliver is more like Jugoplastica, and Misha is more like Hajduk. Oliver maybe succeed more all over, but emotions always go to
Misha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the pictures. You enjoyed it with the family.
I did.
Yeah. You spoke. We started with USA. We started with Boston. Let's end with this. When you finished your career, you always dreaming to Boston, but not only basketball. Other sports too in that city.
Oh, when I was there, of course, you start following the city with everything. So I would go to NFL games, to baseball games, to hockey games. I watch so many hockey games because I live near the arena. We play in the same arena.
Boston Bruins.
The same crew would operate the arena. So as the arena was always sold out, I would come, through the parking and I would sit on the stairs and with my friend who was a policeman, and they were like, "You're a big star. Why are you sitting on the stairs?" Because I don't care. I sit on the stairs. Where's the game?
Yeah, we see photos. I hope you don't mind from that was Super Bowl, right?
Yes, one of them.
One of them, yeah. So New England, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
this
is your team.
Of course, when I was there, I met some. You meet players, you meet owners, you meet guys, and I know the coach of the New England, and that's how I got a ticket.
Yeah, it's okay. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, this is a Croatian guy, Rob Ninkovic, from Croatian roots. This was in Phoenix when we won. I love this sport. For example, during the year, I watch like every game of New England, and I watch more than NFL than NBA.
What's so poisonous for you in that sport?
I don't know. It's like a really man's game. A lot of toughness but you have to learn the rules and have to know a little bit. You have to be educated a little bit.
What about baseball?
And then this fantasy league. That's also another.
You play fantasy league?
Play like 3 of them.
Yeah, I played in NHL, and I had problems with sleep because of it.
Me too.
Yeah, I woke up and watched it during the night.
Me
It
too.
was pretty tough, so I had to stop
Me
it.
too. Especially when you are in like important games. Like I won twice in this league, and when you have the finals, you cannot sleep.
Yeah,
you cannot sleep.
Yeah, my biggest opponent was a guy from Split. I think you know him, Ivano Balic. He's also crazy about it. You said you went to also hockey games, Boston, the Bruins, or?
All of them, not some, all of them.
That's my favorite sport. I think it's great.
I like it, but not like
NFL.
Like NFL.
Okay, and just quick few questions about national team now. What do we expect? What is the future of our basketball national team? That is something that a lot of us are concerned about.
We are all suffering from this fight between ULEB and FIBA, and they don't give us players. And of course, it's same for everybody, but it's not same for everybody because we have 4 million people, and Germany, France, Italy, they have 30, 40 million people. They have much bigger pool of players to choose from. Now, for example, we play a game against Slovenia on the 30, and they allow us to take the NBA players on 27.
Yeah, 3 days.
So what can you do in 3 days?
4 days, yeah.
What can you do in 3 days? Nothing.
Yeah.
So we have to, I think, in the future, because there are talents always, and it always will be, but you cannot do something, it's not like open a bottle of water and you drink. You need to one team has to bond together. Stuff has to happen. Like you have Matkovic, a young guy who's like a rising star. You have Gnjidic, who's a young rising star. How many minutes they play with
Bojan?
Yeah. 0. How many minutes they play with Zubac? 0. So you want us in 3 days to match them together so they be successful. It's very hard, and people don't realize what problems we are going through to get somewhere.
Yeah, but that, let's call it war or conflict, must end one day, or basketball will...
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And something that you don't like, foreign players in Croatian national team. Against it?
I am always against it. I cannot really understand why people are always asking me this question like I'm going to change my mind.
No, just to explain
National
why.
team players should be born in certain country. I hate seeing these Americans playing for the different teams, or that's a fake something that, you know, all these teams today, if you see in the different leagues in football and everything, with so many foreigners, you know, in England you have teams that have no English players, and
Yeah.
that's okay. It's business. I understand it's business, but national team should be pride, honor, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not buying two Americans and then you make a success and then you are happy because somebody else did it for you. You are what you are, and you should be what you are, and I just don't agree with that.
Yeah, and a lot of people from region, we have ABA League. There are also confrontation of opinions about that competition. What do you think?
I also think that ABA League get out of the hands because you have in the finals you have 10, 15 Americans playing, and you always have these fights and stuff, irregularities.
Yeah,
and,
it was this season also.
I think that ABA League is a good league, should be there, but should be run by the federations with a limited number of foreign players that can make the league better, but not 6, 7 players, foreign players from. I think that the league should be developing league for all countries that are involved,
Yeah.
not just league that who has more money and takes more Americans are going to win.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.